And we're going. So I do have to make sure that my voice is not going to come through in my ears. No one wants to listen to my voice. Okay, there we go. It's muted. I am going to need line of action. There we go. Oh, what are we going to do though? That's the question. Just need a bit of a warm up to get back into it. Let's do something I hate, which includes the horses. I don't hate the goats though. Goats are fine. Goats are fine. They're not. They're terrible. Oh, lovely. And my drawing tablet decides to choose this time to turn off. Why must you be like this? There we go. God, yeah, it's been like 3 weeks since I've actually done any proper drawing apart from the weird sketching I did for the D&D profile pictures on Sheepa's channel. Yeah, and that's still wrong, even with the tweak. Then again, saying that, I have got the body angle wrong, so it's not as bad. Hey, Frop. Indeed, it be art. Not guaranteeing good art, but there is art. I'm also noticing that because of how the this screen, you're kind of missing the one that I actually was drawing. There we go. Ah, the worst ones. The horse. That's already wrong. Yeah, there are a few. There's a few like breeds of horses that are absolute massive things. I mean, this may be a Shire horse. I know Shire horses have the massive feet because Shire horses are like the heavy machinery of the Industrial Revolution. It's like if you don't have a large motor, what better than just a massive freaking horse to drive things? And so he basically bred a breed of horse, or at least a couple of breeds of horses, to just be really good at making things spin around, which we then connected to whatever else thing we needed. Yeah, this looks nothing like a horse. Looks more like a plucked chicken. Maybe I'm just hungry. Although I say these things have big feet, they actually the feet are not that bad. It's just they have a lot of fluff around the ankle. Yeah, the proportions are just wrong on it. It needs to be longer for a start. Maybe not quite that long. And I think I've made the legs a bit too long. Well, that's the thing. A lot of these ones like this, these are not natural horses. So chances are during the winter they were kept indoors. But you got to remember as well that if your Shire horse got ill, you could not do your job. Your mill would stop working. Oh well, too late for you. You don't get finished. They're not that bad. I can think of a lot of things that are scarier than a horse. Yeah, once again, I've got the proportions in the body length. This is why I hate doing horses, which is why I'm forced myself to try. Because this is way too short. This needs to be like out here. I'm just giving that one. That one's. Oh, what? Why? Okay, no, I'm not doing. I'm not doing horses anymore. I'm not doing this one anymore. There's too many horses. Too many horses. Um. Oh, let's see what can we do instead. Bird. There we go. Bird isn't scary. Well, unless it's cassowaries, emus, thankfully extinct terror birds, all of those kind of things. Oh, and Clip Studios thinking about auto saving, so that's a no. And wouldn't let me do that. Once again, tweak the proportion a bit because that was a bit wrong. In my brain is telling me something is off, and I can't figure out what. Legs too small. That's half the problem with this. It's like, especially when you're learning, you kind of something is off, but you can't figure out what it is that's actually the problem. So the head, chest bit is there. So you go down a little bit. You do be gulping. Just a giant ball of white. My brain can't pass the information. His little beady evil eye. Yeah, that one didn't. That one just didn't work. It's about as best as I can get. It's just a potato with feathers. I. That's how. I cannot quite figure out what the hell's going on with this because it looks like that. So either it's an extremely weird bird, or it's a bird humping another bird, and I can't see the head of the other one, which concerns me. So I'm skipping this one. Right, there we go. Duck. Which actually gives us a nice midline to start with. From the center. And my idea of proportion needs to be tweaked because this is a child, and childs have different proportions. So having a giant head is perfectly normal for this beast. Oh god, it's the fancy one. With weirdly thick necks, considering. I mean, most other long neck birds have just like the same length through the entire thing, whereas these guys just like chonk. We have start of wing pattern, then you go under there. Coop Studio, I love you, but I swear to God, if you just like stop me from like making a line halfway through doing it because you want to do an autosave, I'm gonna scream. And now we do whoop, the big flourishing, and we have a bit about here, which is where you have all the weird speckledy feathers. And then you have all the fancy ones on the back. See what else we got. Since we still have like 30 seconds left. This one really is just egg. Right, wings start small about the center of the egg. I don't know why, but I really love really small, angry looking birds. They just give off such like weird energy of like you realize I could slap you and destroy your entire existence. Yet how can you be so small and so angry? Always the body proportions that get me. So bird, you get no legs. Gee, how long have I been going so far? God, how have I been doing this for 40 minutes already? Jeez. Time flies when you're making burb. But that is enough of that for now. I didn't mean to close that down because now I've lost my subtitles. Quickly get that back. Yes, yes, what's new in Chrome? Nothing. Nothing that I care about anyway. Take me back to... Yes, take me back to where my subtitles will work. Yeah, I say work. Roughly the right shape. You want to expand that head though. You know, not expand the head. Extend the neck. Someone's plinging me in Telegram. I bet it's the sheep boy. It is the sheep boy. And we quickly minimize that again so we don't accidentally have Repawn turn up. Which I don't even know how that could accidentally happen. I don't have a screen capture of a Telegram. That's just me outing myself. Okay, so we've got big floaty thing. Oh god, I can't remember now. Had we do this was meant to be a mammal. Oh, now I'm trying to remember. Had the long neck. It's meant to be a herbivore. Although honestly, in my head, seeing the whole like hairs being pulled up, Oh, look, it's an Ezzy. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh no, we didn't actually draw a pigeon. Oh no, I was gonna say if only we had had a pigeon in the lineup, we could have given Ezzy a pigeon. But alas, there was no pigeon. But in my head, I could have sworn the reason we'd thought about it having this like thing to like raise the hair up was so it could like filter feed, and it's just a giant filter feeding beast. And it wasn't a herbivore, but it was a manivore. I really should actually have opened up my Bloodborne art book and see how the concept designers drew Amelia's fur. That's one thing I haven't actually tried drawing. Considering I'm an artist that has drawn furry stuff for commissions, I've not drawn a lot of fur. Because let's face it, furry fur is just do a little flick in certain places, and then you know you've got some hips. Boom. That's not really fur. That's tough. So I haven't like really like practiced how to draw actual fur. Ezzy, don't drink all of the wine. I don't know what that because I don't have that emote. Yeah, that is it seven? I can't remember which emote thing that's to do with, but I only see wine time. I did have it at one point, and it just got really annoying because one channel that I used to hang around, they'd made a bunch of emotes so that normal words would turn into emotes, and it was just impossible to read chat. It's like they would have turned "huh" into a frog, and then you would just see like someone just had a frog emote and then a bunch of other random emotes, and technically they were saying a thing, but 7TV had turned it all into emotes, and it made no sense. So I got rid of 7TV because I could not stand it. Although I don't actually go to that channel anymore. I haven't for quite some time. Bye bye, Izzy. It's weird the times you have for clocking into work sometimes, because sometimes it's like 11 o'clock at night and you have to clock in, and it's only 5 p.m. at the moment. Your work times confuse me. It does have fur on the neck, but not quite as fluffy. But I cannot for the life of me remember now. I Since it's been a couple of weeks since I went through this one with Sheepa, and they've marked it down as being a mammal, but it doesn't fit being a mammal in my head. Like the furry bit, maybe, but I don't know. This bit is the one that's throwing me. I can't remember why we. If it had in my head, the reason why that would have happened is if we'd made it the manivore. In other words, eating the particles of mana from the air, or disintegrating parts of things that had created the mana from the air. I don't remember which one. And it did that to collect more food. That would make perfect sense. Otherwise, it would just shamble around the forest, not doing anything. Because I think if we, one thing I do remember is this thing was meant to be absolutely huge. Like a little bit of thing for scale. This thing was meant to be like an absolute giant, but it was a completely passive creature unless you attacked it. That much I can remember. And I cannot feel I don't know how we were planning on doing the head. Apart from trying to make it look less like a penis. Like it would be hilarious if we turn this into just a giant, like, weird snail. Or it could just be a very, very grumpy looking face. And move you over there. When we did these were like the weird little parasitic starfish things that were just floating around. You know what I want for this? I want a reference image of a leech's face. Because I know that leeches have got like their teeth are like this, and they have like three like grinding teeth that like they have on their face like that. Looks like a weirdly like a butthole, but with teeth, and that's a terrifying thought. Also, why has someone made an image of a leech attached to someone's eyeball? That is horrific, and I hate them. But it's a fascinating image, and also would probably happen in this tabletop RPG because they're evil. Like leech mouth image, please. Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. How could we turn the image? Just because I know people don't like images of weird creatures, I'm just gonna like sketch the image that I'm looking at so that you don't have to look at the real thing. And then that entire thing is like enclosed within like a suction cup. There we go. So rather than doing it side on and making it look interesting like that, let's start off with a front on view. So if we're going by that, the equivalent would be because these things are meant to be vampiric. They latch onto you, they start sucking away at your blood, and if you've only got one on you, you're fine, you'll be fine. But if you've got multiple on you, or worse, an entire swarm of them on you, you need to get them off quickly. Otherwise, they will implant themselves onto you, and then they will act like barnacles for the rest of your life, just slowly leeching away your blood and letting themselves survive. Let's extend these in a bit more. A little bit of tweaking. Is the one that's off? One of them's off, and I can't quite figure out which. Yeah, you're the one that was off. Okay, and then we would have the mouth lining going between them. And then we'd have. I'm assuming the way this would work is similar to how the leech has the suction bit. That's how it would start. But whereas a leech, the saliva makes the blood more likely to flow, I assume this thing would have like two types of saliva. From the inside, hang on, let me add an extra layer for this. So like from this inside bit, it would have the similar thing to a leech. It would slowly have like liquids in there that would like help dilate the blood, make it run better. It's the word I'm after. Anticoagulant, that's the one I'm after. To help the blood keep going. But on this outside, it would have a slightly different thing that it was secreting, which was more of an organic glue. And so what would end up happening, the green bit would hit your skin first, would stick on, but would be relatively easy to get rid of straight away. But then when it touches the skin, it starts reacting with, I don't know, let's think what chemicals would be in the skin. Collagen, maybe? Something like that. It would react with something in the skin that would start making it bind together. So that eventually, if you left it too long, it would just be attached to you, unless you like got a knife and sliced it off. It was not coming off. Shape wise, I imagine, well, from the side anyway, I imagine these things would be. Kind of conical, and then they would latch onto his skin, and then they would have like spores, which is what would make yeah these things even more ridiculous. Yeah, if you had a bunch of them on you, you'd essentially be a walking spore factory for these things, which would be terrifying. Which would also lead to another creature that could happen that, something that has been completely infested with these would just be walking aimlessly in pain and would probably just attack things out of pure instinct. Or even maybe not attack. Maybe it just seems like they're attacking, or it ends up attacking, but it's trying to desperately get help to get these things off him, or her, or it, or whatever the creature is. And it's literally just walking around with just thousands of these little tiny limpet starfish vampire things attached to its skin in every possible place. So what you'd end up having is that's keep aspect ratio. So what you'd end up having is just like a weird lattice of these things all over your skin. And if you weren't careful and you didn't get treated quick enough, your entire body would just be covered in these things. There'd very much be a swarm, obviously. One of these at a time would be a nuisance for an adventuring party, but if you accidentally walk into a swarm, or depending on how we play it, a corpse that's covered in these things that's spewing out, spores, that would be dangerous. When if you like transferred spores of these things into a habitat, an area with habitation, and these things like actually got to grow up and start swarming properly in the air, you'd basically turn that place into a nightmare, and everyone would have to leave unless fire was involved. That could probably help. I can get rid of that now. Move you. Over a little bit. And shrink that side view down a little bit. And you'd probably be able to see, like, the teeth from the side view as well. Because that way, when it contacted the skin, it would be able to feast, and also would still have like enough contact to like actually glue to the skin. And I think with that terrifying image, I'm going to go away from art. Some would say that is a good thing, and I should do that forever, so that I never create these kind of things again. But the starfish one, you can blame Sheepa for the idea. Sheepa created that one last time we did this. That one's on Sheepa for that terrifying idea. Okay, so I was thinking Zomboid again. I say again, I unpublished the last one because my brain was dead when I was playing it. So I didn't want people to see how bad that was going. Ugh, how am I tired? It's not even 6 o'clock yet. I suppose thinking and drawing is draining, but one of the reasons I haven't done it much. Pepsi, please sponsor me. You give me enough money to keep me going for the entire year, I will pimp myself out for Pepsi. Oh, thank you, the subtitles, for put myself out for Pep.